Today is the day that I'm gonna finally test drive the Monster Chopper. First, I gotta round over the front tire, finish the brakes, and in honor of its first test drive, we have these brand new Monster Chopper t-shirts. Every $5 you spend on merch gets you an entry to win that little ATV right there, which Will just finished putting back together with its brand new powder-coated frame. And you'll also win an Everlast welder and an ArcDroid CNC plasma cutter. So go check that out and stick around for burnouts and test drives. Right, get the tire on, shave the front tire, make a battery box. Time to trim down the front tire, make it look like the rear tire so that we can lean easier in corner. And this time, I'm gonna do a little experimenting with the old Sawzall, because the hot knife works pretty well, but it's slow, so I figure I can lop off the big, majority of it with this. Yeah, I mean, with a fresh battery, I can just lop off a big chunk like that and then fine tune it with the hot knife, and that'll make the blade on that last longer, and it should go a lot faster. I mean, it cuts really fast, but it's
probably just hard to get your angle.
Yeah, it's unwieldy. Yeah, ought to be decent. Front brakes, battery mount, be in business. Obviously, I'll come up with a better solution than zip ties in the long run, but
we got a test drive to do.
Exactly.
Like the beginnings of a battery box.
Yeah. I decided I'm bored with hexagons for right now, so I did triangles.
He's a changed man.
No, I still like hexagons. It just wouldn't look right on this piece. It just holds this 1 pound battery, so it doesn't need to be very strong at all. And this will look cool and be super lightweight. So, let's ta-da! Just a bunch of slag to clean off of there. Bend all the sides up, weld it together, and we'll have a nice little battery box.
It's a really satisfying piece.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? Can you help me bend this? No, yelling at me isn't gonna help. You gonna give me a hand or what? No? Okay. All right, that's enough. I've got the teeniest, tiniest little tab ever to mount this battery box. A couple of tacks, and then we're pretty much ready for a test ride. I think I need to put a little more fuel in it, make sure all my bolts are tight, so we don't have a loose bolts willy situation. Huh? Dangerously close to a test drive.
That's exciting.
With functioning front and rear brakes. That might be a first in grind hard history. First test drive with all of the brakes working. I don't know if we've ever done that.
I don't actually think I've ever seen you guys do that.
Yeah, probably not. Nice.
That seems to be a yes.
That does seem to be a yes. Which means I think, I don't think I can really put off the test drive much longer. This video is sponsored by Onyx Off-Road, and we've been using Onyx Off-Road for years now on the channel. Pretty much every cool trail that you've seen us do. When we took this K-Truck up a waterfall, we found that through Onyx Off-Road. With Onyx Off-Road, you can download all your maps offline so that when you're trundling around the woods with no service, you still know where you're going. And they have live forest fire data, which is very convenient in this part of the world because fire season is coming up quick and we didn't get a lot of snow. So probably gonna be a bad one this year. Onyx Off-Road is one of our most long-term sponsors for the channel, and we love working with them. Celebrate National Stress Awareness Month and ditch the stress on new trails with the top off-road trails app. Right now, Onyx is offering 30% off premium memberships and 50% off Elite. So click the link in our description and get this awesome deal today. Give her a little more of the Go juice. Man, what a momentous occasion. We've definitely never waited this long for a first test drive before. From like start of project to first test drive. It's been about 7 months, I think. We started this in September.
Yeah, this is super exciting.
Yeah. It's also the biggest question mark of any test drive. Everything else I've ever built, like the first test drive was, the only question was, is it gonna be good or like not great, you know? This one, the question is, can I drive it at all? I don't know.
We're about to find out.
We sure are.
This is the moment everyone's been waiting for.
Quite literally, yes.
Including us. I've been excited about this for months.
Yeah, me too. I've actually had a few dreams about it. The dreams have all gone well, so that's a good sign. I'm not a superstitious person, but you never know.
I'm very excited to see this thing drive because I drive normal motorcycles and I've never seen something like this and I have no idea how
No one's
it's
ever
gonna
seen
drive.
something like this.
And it's like the first two-wheel, like super custom thing that
That we've
Ryan
done.
Hart
Yeah, oh
did,
yeah,
so
for sure. Everything else is like just modifying something.
Either four wheels or it's two wheels that already has like the suspension, geometry, and everything figured out. And
yeah.
we just
Well, I mean, the original murder scooter was kind of that was a handcrafted thing, but it was the front and back of a normal motorcycle just extended.
That's what I mean. It's just like something welded on from a two-wheel machine.
So I think what we need to do first is a burnout.
Huh?
Right?
Yeah, I mean, should be the easiest thing to do. You have two big brakes and a huge tire. And
yeah, it's just a matter of traction differential. If the front has enough traction to slow down the rear, and if not, I'll just put it up against a wall and brum, brum. All right,
nice. Earplugs over. Pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of able to do one just with the front brakes, but it was just kind of slowly inching forward.
I think it was kind of like that, a little bit of that hop, like
this tire isn't
like,
exactly the most round, I don't think.
I mean, you can make it more round by doing more burnouts.
Ah, yes. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'll call that a success. We carved a nice little groove into the rear wheel. That's that banjo bolt, but whatever.
It will self-clearance.
It will, and we have two spare wheels. I'll deal with it later, but to fix it, I'd have to take the whole rear wheel off and the fender off and everything else, and it'll, like you said, it will literally self-clearance.
This is quite the occasion.
Yeah, I'm actually so excited to see this thing go. I've ever seen
and he's
driving on two wheels. That is so cool.
Oh my
God. Works so much better than I thought it was going to.
I hear him still driving too.
Yeah, he didn't fall over. He just ripped it out of there. It's so funny because it spins the wheel so easily. Oh, do we have a tip over situation or is he turning around?
It looked extremely rideable.
Totally chill except for turning around at low speeds. The weight just got away from me and I couldn't hold it up as I was turning around here. And now it doesn't want to start for some reason. Maybe the charging system isn't working? It's incredibly chill. Like once you're moving, steering is just easy peasy. It handles like a normal bike. It's obviously heavy.
Yeah.
but like you can't even feel the weight difference. Once you're rolling, it doesn't feel heavy on the
it
left
looked
side.
easy. You just took off and you were like, woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Zero problems.
Oh.
Except the GoPro. I might have murdered the GoPro.
That was maybe a bad place for us to mount it.
Yeah.
It's done. The GoPro's done.
I might be able to roll start it. Nope. I knew I would be able to ride it to some extent, but I'm truly shocked at how easy it is to ride on an uneven dirt driveway. That is crazy.
Is this Ethan's chain?
Yeah, it looks like it might be.
It sounded like the chain popped off when he revved really high. I was like, I kind of was wondering if that was going to be an issue because there's no chain tensioner and it's like a 2-mile long chain.
No, it just bent.
Oh,
I shifted into second and just gave it the beans,
I heard that.
and
And that sounded like
It said-
right after the beans?
no.
No.
But yeah, it's extremely drivable. Some durability issues, but drivability, no problems at all.
It's so weird to see the suspension moving like that. Like,
It's
so
very weird.
Does it feel weird like when you're on it?
I mean, yeah, but
moving like
mainly
that?
because of how much unsprung weight there is, it's just bouncy.
Yeah.
You know, the tires just kind of hop.
Yeah.
Although that one felt a lot better after when I stopped at the end of the driveway, because I switched this over to the stiffest damping setting,
Oh.
and that helped. It made the front less bouncy.
Yeah.
I mean, it still bounces because of the tire, but the suspension isn't too bouncy now. So we need a new chain and a new
Fix that,
sprocket plate thing.
and then we'll be good for another go.
Time for some reinforcement. Got this sprocket hub off. You can see how twisted it is. Actually, look at this. All of the holes are stretched into ovals. That is a lot of torque. And if you think about it, it's got 100 foot-pounds of torque, roughly, at the crank. And then you've got the reduction of first gear, which is probably like, I don't know, 5 to 1 or something like that. And then you've got that reduction going through all the chain reductions, which is probably like another 8 to 1. So you go like, something like 50 to 1 reduction. Or I don't know, we'll call it less than that. 40 to 1,
That's a lot of torque.
30 to 1. Even if it's 30 to 1, that's now 3,000 foot-pounds of torque.
There was people saying, that's not enough power.
Oh, it's enough power. Time to cut out sprocket hub part 1. I'm just using 3/16 still because I'm gonna double it up. And I've arranged the holes such that all of the holes will still be there, just kind of like they were, or most of them anyway. And then the two sizes of sprocket are offset. So there's big holes on one and small holes on the other, and then opposite. So I can weld inside of the holes and make it super duper strong. See, there's a step that I can weld inside those ones and inside those ones. And they're two different sizes on the inside. That's not for welding, that's just so that it can go over. So that one will go up against that little stop there. And then this one will go over the next layer. well welded, and now this temporary chunk of shaft that was holding in the lid doesn't want to come out. Welded here, inside of each of these circles, there. So yeah, should be good. And then these lines here, of course, are where my holes are going to be drilled. That's the circle. Done broked. All right. So here's where the old master link was. And I think this spare chunk I have here is going to be just enough to replace that whole section. Alrighty, time for test drive number 2. I'm going to try and not break the chain this time. Or that sprocket. Well, the sprocket's way beefier, so that shouldn't break. Anyway. Extremely rideable.
It looked extremely
Like,
You were just crawling through the woods. Like,
it's
no problem.
probably a 1,000-pound bike, and you can just ride it through the woods. I mean, obviously it's not as maneuverable as a normal dirt bike, and it's very bouncy due to the unsprung weight, but like, it just rips. Chain popped off again because I decided I needed to do a little
I saw that. You were like burning the tire out, and
Yeah.
you said, what? And then the chain popped off.
Yep.
I was flying the drone, and Ethan was going like places I didn't think he was gonna go. He's going through the trees and stuff. I was like, whoa! It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so next on the upgrades list, chain guide. Because if this had a guide to keep it from flopping around, it would probably stay on a lot better. Because it's so low to the ground, it's so stable.
It looked super maneuverable.
Yeah, I mean, way more than I would have ever thought. I mean, Certainly more than I would have expected for a first drive, and like more honestly, it's way easier to ride than I ever anticipated. So that's
awesome.
a huge win. Yeah, I bet. I've ridden it a little bit. I bet you could ride it in the sand. Like air them down enough so that they still stay rounded. Because like right now, I think they're at like 25, 30 psi. Air them down to like 10 so they stay rounded but are a little softer. Go hit some sand dunes. Low speed, no fan for quite a while.
Yeah.
She got a little warm. Whew. Tell you what, that is a workout to ride. Still surprisingly easy. It's just a big bike. And the faster you go, the easier it gets to ride. But we don't exactly have a lot of room for fast here.
Especially with this machine. And you can go fast in a little machine around here, but this thing's huge.
Yeah, and it doesn't change direction very quickly.
It doesn't look
If you try to accelerate quickly, the chain pops off. Stopping, I mean, both the front and rear brakes work, but neither of them is like
awesome.
Exactly. They're both subpar.
Grind hard certified brakes.
They do work, they just don't lock the tires up. You gotta really jam on them. So it's a 12-foot long chopper, so it weighs probably 1,000 pounds. I'm gonna call that a win. Figured, now that I've driven it, we gotta know how much it weighs. I keep saying it's 1,000 pounds, but I have absolutely no idea. I'm gonna go with 862 pounds.
I'm gonna go with 900 pounds.
I like to go with a random number, because that way it seems way more impressive when you get it right.
905.5.
All right, there we go.
All right, I'm thinking 840.
All right. I have a feeling we might all be low, but you know, who knows?
What's our number?
818 pounds.
Wow.
Wow.
Lighter than I thought.
Yeah, that's actually not that much.
I was actually the closest.
Yeah,
Darn it.
818 pounds. Well, there you go. It's an 800-pound motorcycle. But that's also not dry weight. That's wet weight, or like damp weight, because it has coolant and oil, but not. It only has like a gallon of gas. So
Yeah.
we'll call that mildly moist weight.